We all know the completion process is an 18-step process, and it's usually done sitting down or lying down in a room, doing it in a structured way, in a focused way. Now, what I want to deal with today is basically talking about how can we use parts of the completion process in our day-to-day sort of walking and talking activities. How can we use it in our daily normal life? And I mean using elements of it, because you can't use the whole 18-step process in your day-to-day walk of life. But how would you use parts of it in your day-to-day runnings of life? And how can you make it effective? Okay, and in particular I want to address that people say and people argue that doing shadow work creates more shadow. Now, from my experience so far, I can tell you this much, and it's a little tip I want to give, and I want you to try it and see what you think, right? So when you're walking around doing your normal day-to-day stuff and you get triggered, for example, you go somewhere, someone says something, you see something, you get triggered. You get an emotional response. Now, step 2 of the completion process is emotional whisper, where you explore. You don't run away from the feeling, you don't run away from the emotion, but you sit there with the feeling and you explore. And you taste the flavor of the whole emotion, okay? Now, some people, I find that they just do this step and they continue doing this step, and that's all they do when they're being triggered in an outside environment where they're not doing the structured completion process. What I propose to you, that when you do the emotional whisper, what you also need to do in conjunction this, to add the third step, which is validation of the emotion. Validation of the emotion is so important, because then it takes the sting out from the shadow. It takes the sting out. It makes the experience much more pleasant, and it takes the shadow away. So it's so important that you validate the feeling, and it improves the whole situation and the way you feel. Okay, so emotional whisper in conjunction with the validation, right, in your normal day-to-day activities will improve your whole integration. Okay, it will make integration on a whole different level, right, rather than just doing emotional whisper and just concentrating on the emotion again and again and again. Okay, you need to take it to the next step. Right, guys, I want you to try this, see what you think, and leave your comments below. If you like this, share, subscribe, and like. And if you don't like it, still share, subscribe, and like. Thank you, man. Bye.